Hello, and welcome to the Footy Podcast. To benefit Here's Help. Here's Help is a nonprofit comprehensive rehabilitation and educational agency that's been providing treatment services in South Florida since 1968. For more information on Here's Help or Footy's podcast, you can contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. Now, here's Footy.
Hello, I'm Footy. This is our podcast that we do every week, coming to you from the studios at Here's Help in North Miami.
So how you been? What's going on in your world?
Getting ready for my big trip. And
the holiday extravaganza?
Yeah. And
Darlene Love.
Yeah, there's going to be between 12 and 15 of us. You know, we're all kids together.
All your buddies. See that, that's...
Well, it's not only buddies, it's girls, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were very prevalent.
Well, it's good that they still talk to you.
No, and I have my oldest friend, I don't want to call it oldest, longest friend.
Yes, that's...
And he comes down here for a week, 2 weeks, somewhere up in Boca or whatever. I go and I meet him. Mm-hmm. And it's only me and him. He doesn't bring his wife. He leaves her behind. No, it's, how can I explain it? It's just the way we are. We don't, like, who are you? So, and he's now a retired cop. And, well, he was a criminal, and then he became a cop, and now he's a retired cop, and he's I visit him whenever I go up there, and he comes down here once a year. But he's very, it's hard to explain, like, he doesn't know you. He doesn't talk to you.
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. I remember when we went to New York, when we were at Y100, we went to New York for the unveiling of the restored Statue of Liberty. That was the infamous incident with Monty in the Italian bar with the pocket knife and everything. But the funny thing was, first off, David Ross, the general manager of Y100, insisted that we stay at the Helmsley Hotel. But we weren't allowed to order any room service. We weren't allowed to touch anything. He just kept saying, they want $50 for a celery sandwich, and don't touch anything, don't order anything. So, we were like this. But
I was out with my friends.
Well, yeah. We got to the airport. We took a cab to the Helmsley. We got out of the cab, and the doorman comes out and opens the door, and we step out, and you said something to one of us, and of course your accent came out, and he's like, "Oh, you're from around here," and all of a sudden he was your best buddy. The guy, he had nothing to do with the rest of us. But anything you need while you're here, he says, you just let me know. And he goes, "You, I know." We all got out of the same cab at the same time.
Yeah, but
we knew.
They don't think like that. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, and that's funny.
Well, it's still that way for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be going out to West Hampton on Long Island to go and see Darlene Love and the Christmas show. We have our own row. It's all of us. We have our own row. We have a great time because they have a bar. You go to the bar. Right. And then afterwards, I'll either go back to the hotel, which is in Garden City, the great Garden City Hotel, or I'll take right off for Atlantic City for a few days. And some of them will come with me, some of them won't. But these are originals. Right. In fact, one of them her name's Angie Aliberti. And I remember when Angie's family came from Italy.
Wow.
I was in elementary school, I think,
Crazy.
or junior high school, and she was, yeah. When I moved to Long Island from the Bronx, it was like going to a farm. It was farms and stuff. I picked tomatoes out there.
That I would have loved to have seen. I can't imagine.
I made a few bucks, but it was like hell on earth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the guy, what's his name? His friend of mine. But anyway, Angie came from Italy. She showed up one day.
Wow.
In the cafeteria of the junior high school that we all went to. And she's sitting there all alone. She didn't know a soul in the world. I don't think she even spoke English. And she had a little bag, with her sandwich in it. And the locals, the people who lived on Long Island, lived out they weren't like us. We were all from New York City, and we moved out to the suburbs. But we were sitting there, and I get a tear in my eye when I think about this. No, she's sitting all alone at the cafeteria table, and the bumpkins from Long Island started to prey on her, and because it really was weird on Long Island. You had different generations and different histories. We were migrants from New York City. The people that lived out there were farmers. We called them farmers. Well, they started to notice Angie.
Wow.
And
kids that age are so cruel. Junior high school, middle school is tough.
Well, they closed in on her.
Wow.
Didn't last long. We beat their asses. Told them,
it's a big rumble in the school cafeteria.
Yeah, we told them, you ever bother her again. And we didn't even know who she was.
Right.
But we knew what she was.
Right.
And he said, we're going to come across these tables. It's going to be really bad for all of you.
Wow.
They stayed away. They ate, in fact, after that, they ate in a different corner of the cafeteria.
They didn't want any part of you.
No, they didn't. They didn't want to get it. But you know how kids are and people are. They picked the weak one.
Sure. Yeah.
And we didn't do that. We didn't allow that. She's with us. So you may fall down the stairs later.
That's funny. I worked on the air for a few years with a really good friend of mine, a very talented man, Paul Barsky. And
Barsky, where's he from?
He was from, well, I don't know where he was born, but he grew up on Long Island.
Oh.
And
lived in my neighborhood.
And he was telling me he and his buddy were going out one night. They were in like high school, and they were hitchhiking. They were thumbing a ride because they had no car, and and I guess they were wearing. He was a big baseball player. He was a pitcher. He was big into baseball, and I guess they were wearing their school jackets or something, their high school jackets. And
so who beat their ass?
Well, they're thumbing, and of course this car pulls over, and we got a ride, and they run up to the car, and these like five guys pile out of the car from the competing high school and just pulled him in the car, beat him up in the car. And then drove a little ways away and kicked him out.
Yeah,
so
Long Island was, when we moved out to Long Island, you might have moved me to Wyoming,
right?
Because we didn't know what's this.
Yeah.
And but we learned over time the golf course and the polo grounds and all the things that they had in the schools. But it was a real adjustment.
Well, he said the funny part of the story is he said the car drives away and they're laying in the dirt on the side of the road, and so they get up and brush themselves off, and they're like, well, okay, let's see if we can get another ride and get back.
Same thing
to the bar.
happened.
It's the same car.
Yeah.
Pulled him into the car, beat him up again, kicked him out.
Yeah, that's Long Island.
And another
the Bronx was nothing compared to Long Island.
See, that is so funny because you would think it would be the exact opposite.
No, it was nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of a New York state of mind. Another great thing that I love.
Guess where Billy Joel's from?
Right, sure.
What?
Another great thing I love about New York is where are you from?
But where's Billy.
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
What about it?
He was a Long Island guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He dated. There was 2 girls, and their mother, and I never saw the father.
He dated 2 girls and the mother?
No,
Oh.
the mother.
Sounds like Bill Wyman.
What happened was, it really was kind of good. They were late migrants, and they got a house in Bethpage.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really know the rules yet. So
The rules.
yeah, so we but the mother would have like parties every Friday night with the kids and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that going on, a lot of dancing going on. But anyway, she was, how can I explain it? The older one, I think, there were 2. One was a little older. Yeah. Billy Joel was dating her. Because Billy Joel lived like right over the border into like this area called Hicksville or whatever. And he was dating her. But they had to do it on the sneak because they didn't, if anybody found out, there would have been corporate action. But
a disciplinary review.
Yeah, and she was going back and forth to a place called Hicksville, and that's where her boyfriend was.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived right on the border of where I lived, with Bethpage,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hicksville was the next. Everything was basically the next train stop there. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, he was on there. And we finally observed him going in the neighborhood. And we gave him a hard time. They gave him a hard time. And all that kind of stuff. And it was Billy Joel. She was dating Billy Joel.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah. And he was there. It's in one of his songs, I think he even mentions it.
He talks about Footy beating him up.
No, I didn't beat him up. We chased him away.
Oh, that's too funny.
We
Get out of our neighborhood.
Yeah, she's ours. What are you talking about? But no,
Taking one of our girls.
No, but he had to be very careful coming in and out of our area, and going back to his area, because they have boundaries, and you can't if you don't know the boundaries.
Yeah.
Now, where he lived was a place called Hicksville. But we used to go to movies in Hicksville. And we could get in and out of there with a moderate safety. But they eventually... And Patty Lee, I think she got killed out in California.
Wow.
They were like in movies and things. So,
That's crazy.
They weren't staying in touch with me, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I liked the mother. She was very nice. And we had a guy named Mel Watnick. Mel, I think, is still in the institution.
The Gray Bar Hotel.
Yeah, he's in there. Anyway, but Mel went to their house, the mother's house, not the girl. And he brought like a box of candy and some flowers. Now, Mel, you have to understand, he had certain
challenges
in the issues in the area.
Intelligence department.
Yeah. So he started knocking on the door, ringing the bell. Hi.
How old was he?
It was 16, 17, whatever he was. But he thought he was going to date the mother. So we were laughing at him. It's like, Mel, please.
All right.
So one night he goes up, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He's got the flowers and the candy. Well, 8,000 cops jump off the roof, okay, to apprehend Mel. And they beat Mel within an inch of his life, because Mrs. Berridge was a very attractive woman, so they were eager to please her. So No, they locked Mel up in an institution for the mentally insane or whatever.
Wow. And he's still there for that, or did he do other things?
Never heard or saw him again.
You're kidding me. Oh, my God.
Now, I had another friend that was an inmate in that facility, and he told me that when he was there, Mel was still there. So I don't think Mel ever got out.
Holding his flowers and his candy.
Oh, no, the candy didn't last long. He needed the flowers. And they would go on, their mother would drive them, or they would take the train into New York City. But Mel wasn't on the train.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, it wasn't crazy. It was normal.
It was typical, I guess.
Yeah, it was normal because you have it was an interesting dynamic. You have all people from somewhere else. And they all go to one place. And you're like, we used to be very careful from one little town to the next what could happen. But no, we didn't, when Mel lost his citizenship.
His freedom.
Yeah. He went to, I forget, it was out in Suffolk County somewhere. State hospital,
Wow.
They put you in there, they shave your head, and they throw you into place, give you a bed, and they never talk to you again.
Right.
This is your life.
Stay out of trouble.
No, this is your life.
Yeah, this is it, huh?
Plus, Mel wasn't staying out of trouble, I can tell you that. But anyway, they both, I think it was the younger daughter, Wendy, she got shot. They made a movie about it. It was like something 60 or had some kind of date. And she, what's his name? The creepy guy, actor. Robin?
Bruce Dern?
No. Much younger than him. He was, what the hell was he? He was in a lot of movies at the time. Anyway, but she killed her.
Wow.
It was they made a movie about it. And it was.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
You got your Yankees cap on there. I have to share with you one of my all-time fondest memories. I think it was probably that same trip. Because as I recall, and the memory, is not like it used to be. The 80s weren't kind.
Let me ask you a question. Does your mental deterioration increase you losing your hair?
Probably. That's probably all the memory cells get pulled out.
Yeah, you only have hair starts halfway back here.
I know that. Well,
I wonder why one person, I don't get it.
What?
No, I'm saying like my hair didn't fall out.
Yeah, well, it's pretty thin.
Who, mine?
Yeah, look at that.
What do you mean, look at that?
Look at that. I can see your scalp.
That's my normal hairdo.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have.
Did you do anything with it, or did you just roll out of bed? That's like bedhead there, buddy.
What do I care?
Yeah, true. Anyway, your New York cap, your Yankees cap, reminded me, and I think it was this 4th of July trip, because they unveiled the restored Statue of Liberty on the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I remember that.
Big hullabaloo.
We went down by the ferry and watched it.
Big chazarai. We were in Battery Park doing the show.
I wouldn't do that imitation if I were you.
And you decided we had to go to there was a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium, and you decided we had to go to the game because Fats Domino was playing between the two games of the doubleheader.
Oh, was he?
And so we get there, and
I lost my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Right. We get there, and the first they told us, well, we're sold out. And then at the last minute, they decided, I guess there was like the nosebleeds. They finally decided, well, we got all these people that want to come in. So they opened the nosebleed section.
It had multiple decks.
Right. And so we're like in the last row.
It was like a real modern facility.
Yeah, right. We're like on the last row, the very top deck, and there's like our little group of like 4 or 5, and this other group of.
Yeah, but was Sonny there?
I think so.
Yeah, we had a nursemaid. You
had to protect us.
Farmers that were
these country boys in the big city. But I just remember the game ended, and it was just in that section. It was just us and this group of, shall we say,
Inhuman beings?
Very large women. Let's just put it that way. Very large and in charge. And so the first game ends, and they bring Fats out like on the, I think, second base, on the field in his piano, and they set him all up, and he starts playing. And that's your music. I know you love that era, and he's killing it. And so the next thing I know is you're over there dancing. With one of the large ladies in our section. I mean, just tearing it up. And to this day...
Well, the dancing was very big with us.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess, how long ago was that?
140 years.
Right. But I could, to this day, it was so funny to me. It was just so... great.
What, dancing?
Just you and this, total stranger who was 5 times your size, just doing it, man, just tearing it up. And Fats Domino and Yankee Stadium and New York City. I mean, how could it not be? It really is one of my fond memories of being up there. I've been up there quite a few times, and always come back with a great story, but that was one of the best. You talking about the parties on Long Island and the neighborhoods and the territories and everything always reminds me of that great scene in one of your favorite movies, Rodney Dangerfield's Easy Money. See, where they have the wedding reception in his backyard, and they have this aerial shot, and it's just
well, they're playing the music, and it's row after row, but it's only in that backyard.
Right, the little fenced-in backyard, right. And I have been to a house or two on Long Island, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Never lived there, but I certainly get that vision.
Well, I lived in the Bronx, and then I got migrated out to Long Island.
How old were you when you moved from the Bronx to Long Island?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Well, you did mention you were in junior high school out there, so
yeah,
could have been your early teens.
Yeah, and we felt. How can I explain it? We felt like we were being displaced.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, talk about culture shock, going from the heart of the city.
But we quickly found other people where we lived. And, but
I guess you had to. You had to have an entourage. You'd be like Barsky. Oh, man. Well, we want to thank you for watching our Footy podcasts. We enjoy doing them, and we enjoy your likes.
Why am I the only guest ever?
We can have guests from time to time.
Let's get some guests.
And I did hook up with a very good friend of ours from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Heather Geronimus. She's been a guest on this podcast, on the Here's Help show many, many times. And we haven't had her on since we became a podcast. And I have reached out to her a couple of times, and she is going to come in and talk with us because we like, obviously, talking about the great work that Mothers Against Drunk Driving is doing. And she's got a very compelling story about losing
I used to be I was a member of Against Drunk Driving.
You were one of the reasons it got started. I think we all were.
I didn't know what that black pedal was for.
What's the one in the middle do?
Yeah. Right.
Well, again, we thank you for watching our podcast, and thank you for the likes. We love your comments. Keep the comments coming. Make sure you subscribe and click on the little bell, and we'll let you know when we have a new podcast loaded. We'll talk to you soon.
Have you been introduced to Footy Sauce? Footy Sauce makes it easy to give ordinary chicken wings extraordinary flavor. Footy Wing Sauce is made with a perfect blend of herbs and spices. So what are you waiting for? Pour it on. Footy's Wing Sauce guarantees you a better tasting chicken wing every single time. When you fire up the grill, pour it on. Let Footy be your wingman. Kick your next party up a notch with Footy Sauce. Grab Footy's Wing Sauce and pour it on.
Thank you for listening to the Footy Podcast. To benefit, here's help. For more information about the Footy Podcast, or Here's Help, contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. The executive producer of the Footy podcast is Sam Zacco, COO of Here's Help.